More than $800,000 is missing from St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Onalaska.
And now the church's former accounting clerk and secretary is facing charges for stealing it. News 8's Sarah Tamer is here with the latest on the investigation. Sarah?
Federal prosecutors say former St. Patrick's Church Secretary Barbara Snyder stole more than $800,000 from church collections. On Friday, Snyder pled guilty in a federal courtroom to wire fraud and filing a false income tax return. More than $832,000 was stolen from Onalaska's St. Patrick's Catholic Church over the course of nearly 10 years. Prosecutors say the church's former secretary and accounting clerk Barbara Snyder of West Salem stole the money between 2006 and 2015. According to court documents, Snyder would take money that was supposed to be deposited from church collections over the weekend and keep a portion of the money for herself. She would then underreport the amount of donations that were collected and create false entries in accounting records, lying to church auditors. IRS criminal investigations led to the charges against Snyder. Assistant U.S. Attorney Tony Trio says cases like this can be difficult to prove because it involves taking cash from a business.
The way you go about proving that is if you find out what the person's expenses are. So if you know that the person makes, let's say, 40 grand a year, but her expenses or his expenses are as much as 140 grand a year, then there's definitely an increase in income there.
Trio says Snyder used some of that money for gambling at nearby casinos. He says that's why it was necessary to find the casino records, because that's what ended up proving the case. According to court documents, Snyder destroyed count sheets that kept track of the accurate collections for a given week.
And usually, a proper internal control would be to reconcile the count sheets with what's deposited.
The church released a statement that says, in part, "Please be assured that no donations made to our parish by check or credit card were affected, and that none of our parish's endowment trusts or restricted funds were impacted in any way." Snyder potentially faces 23 years in federal prison on the two charges. She's set to be sentenced in early November. In the church's statement, they say they plan to hire an outside accounting firm to monitor the parish's financial records to prevent this from happening again. The church also plans on dividing duties originally held by Snyder between several employees in order to increase internal oversight.
Thanks a lot, Sarah. Snyder will be required to pay back the full amount of money taken from the church over her lifetime.